Cool, man. Sounds good.
Austin Peay head coach Scotty Walden, the Governors, responded after their open day 47-6 over rival Murray State. Now 1-1 in conference play. After that, they're going to play number 12 UT Martin, a big test, important game in the standings on Saturday. So, Coach, just thoughts on that game, and we'll go to some questions.
Yeah, Kyle, really just impressed with our football team and their response to all the adversity that we've gone through, and that's what it's all about, in my opinion, because that's life, and I know we're coaching football, but I think we're life coaches too. We're not just talking ball, we're talking life, and this is a part of life. These guys are going to go through adversity, in the workplace one day, whether it's with their family, whatever. I mean, they're going to go through adversity and really tough times, and in those times where you find out, to me, what you're made of. If you're gonna, you're gonna fight, or you're gonna flight. Are you going to, go away from your foundation, or are you going to and go out on your own and try to do your own thing, or are you gonna stick with your guns, stick with your focus, stick with your preparation? And that's what we did. And that's, I've been saying it on to everybody that's been asking me the past few weeks about, Coach, what do you got to do? And the hard thing this past 3 weeks was, like I said, we've been practicing well. I mean, we've had good practices. We've prepared well. We haven't cut corners. I think finally we continue to stack those good practices, those good meetings on top of each other. Guys stay positive. They trust our foundation. That's what I was the most proud of is those guys trusting, our core beliefs and Code Red, what we stand for. And by them trusting that and continuing to work and stack those good practices, hey, finally we came out, we played a complete game of football, complimentary football. And I think that's why, you saw us play the way we played. Defense was getting stops, holding a great running back, in Witherspoon at Murray State, who I have a ton of respect for, holding him to 1.9 yards a carry. Our defense was, I think, stifling. And then we had, the key takebacks on the kickoff. We kick the ball off to them, they fumble, we get it on the 2. Offense, capitalizes. And, when we're able to capitalize on the turnovers and capitalize on the 3 and outs, offensively being able to move the football like we did and play that complementary style of football, I think we can be as good as any team out there. I think our talent, I think we're talented, and, we just can't we've been our own worst enemy those past 3 weeks. And I think now we're starting to kind of slow down and, hey, let's take care of the football. Let's make sure we stay on schedule. And I thought our offense did a great job of staying on schedule in this game. And that's what allowed us to put together and, play this complete game. And the last thing I want to point out before I give it to you for questions, Kyle, is, Dean Hood at Murray State, who even before this game, I have the utmost respect for. As I've said, through coaching circles, we kind of know each other, but, he really kind of taught me a lesson at the end of that game. And I want to share that I thought was for a young coach like me, I was like, wow, man. I mean, it just, the perspective he put, after that game, hard loss, homecoming, all that stuff, he could have been just, yeah, see you later, whatever. We had a player, number 41, Sam Howard, that got, carted off the field in an ambulance, and he's okay. He had a neck deal, but we got him okay now. And he's going to be all right. But the first question Dean Hood asked me was, how's your player? How's 41? How's your guy? Instead of, worrying about the loss or anything. I mean, that just showed, like, that to me, that showed me a ton of perspective. And so, what a great leader they have over there at Murray State, and got a ton of respect for him and his program.
Let's talk about rushing first. 373 yards against a Division I scholarship program who's was picked the preseason favorites is impressive no matter who you are. And then just your 1-2 attack, and that's going to lead into, I'm going to ask about UT Martin and their 1-2 attack later too. But just Ahmad and Brian and everything they've done for it all to come together at the same time.
Yeah, I think Brian, Ahmad has been consistent the whole year, and Brian has battled through some injuries and now is starting to really pick up at the right time. And we just knew it was a matter of time before he started going off. And his practice habits have been elite. Ahmad Tanner's practice habits are always elite. I mean, both those guys, they run hard. Like the runs that they made on game day were no surprise because, they made those runs in practice. They run hard, they run physical, they finish their runs. I think Coach Jordan McNeil, our running backs coach, is doing a great job with those guys. And obviously Ahmad was the player of the week. And then for us in our field house, though, we awarded the players of the game was our offensive line, because when you have that type of rushing performance, that there's something to be said about those O-line tight ends that were blocking. And, our quarterback did a great job of, I thought Sheldon Lehman did a great job of taking what the defense gave him, whether that meant a short throw or handing it off to Ahmad and Brian, which I told him, you're never wrong to hand it to one of those two guys. All right, just know that. And so he took my word for it, and it paid dividends. And I'll be honest, Kyle, I mean, that's what we want our offense to be. I know we get kind of a stigma of being this spread tempo, air it out offense. And that's part of who we are. I mean, we're going to spread you out, and we're going to tempo snap it as fast as possible and get our guys the ball in space. But at the end of the day, we want to be a line of scrimmage football team. I just believe that's how you win championships. I believe that's how you're supposed to be built is by being the more physical football team. And, finally we got that thing rolling and got in a situation, from a score standpoint to where, we could run the ball more instead of fourth quarter having to throw it to get back in it or something like that. So really proud of, like I said, the perseverance of our O-line and our running backs and our team in general.
And so you referenced Sheldon in his first game with you all. Obviously, he's got a great background, but really efficient. 16 completions, 126, 2 touchdowns, ran for 67. So you insert somebody like that in a game, and I'm sure you knew what you wanted to see, but you got what you probably even more than you wanted to see.
Yeah, I thought Sheldon, to get thrown in that role, I thought he handled it great. I thought he really managed the game well. I thought that he saw his side defenders. He saw, his quick side throws. He saw everything really clearly and made great decisions. I thought that there's a couple of shots there that we missed that we could have had that we want back. He wants back, but I thought he just did a great job of managing the game. And we're a very quarterback dependent offense. And so, we go as the quarterback goes. And if he's steady, we're steady. And I thought we played with a great amount of tempo, a great amount of aggression, a great amount of, just explosiveness, but it was all kind of harnessed, if you will, meaning that I never felt like we were out of control. And I thought that Sheldon did a great job of managing it and made some good throws and used his legs for about 70 yards as well. He's a good runner. And I thought he did a good job of taking what the defense gave him.
So when I ask you about your rushing attack, UT Martin has a 1-2 combo they've used. Their quarterback is the same way. He's done it. Thoughts on what you've seen on them? It seems like they're doing some of the similar things that you are.
Yeah, those guys have been consistent all year, and obviously they're ranked number 12 in the country for a reason. And I don't know, Kyle, if it's a 1-2 punch or a 1-2-3 punch, man. It's and then a 4 punch if you count their receivers, because they got weapons everywhere. Their offense is unbelievably talented. They're big up front. Keon Howard's a young man that played at Southern Miss when I was there, started for us for 2 years, and a young man that I think is one of the best leaders that I've ever been around. And I know what kind of leadership he's bringing there to UT Martin. And Peyton Logan, the running back, I think is smooth as silk. I think he runs low to the earth. He's fast. And, we are going to have to tackle well. That's something we really emphasized in our opportunity week. It's something that we did really well last week against Murray. And we're going to have to tackle well this week and have to be really tied into the fact that, not only can Keon, run the football well, but obviously Peyton Logan can run it well. And the number 21, their backup running back, who, he's come in and he's had some big time explosive plays too. And so then you get enamored with that. Then they got some guys on the edge that can make you pay. So we got our hands full for sure. We know we're playing a really good football team, but we're really excited to play. 2 weeks in a row having to go on the road into a hostile environment. Murray's environment was unbelievable. I know UT Martin's will be the same way, but it's an in-state game, and that's something we take a lot of pride in. And our guys are going to be excited to play, and we got to have a great week of preparation first, though, before we head out to Martin, Tennessee.
Last question, and we'll let you go. And I know you've only seen 3 the OVC team so far, but speaking of 1-2 combinations in rushing, Ahmad included 5 of the top 29 rushing leaders in the country are from the OVC. And then in touchdowns, it's 5 of the top 30. So it seems like you talk about people want assumptions of spread and throwing the ball, but it seems like right now in the OVC, if you're going to win, you're going to do it well, you're going to run the ball.
Yeah, no doubt. And I've sensed that even in the spring, and I don't know how, years past, but this is just kind of a line of scrimmage football league. It's a league where defenses are predicated on loading the box to try to stop the run, and offenses are, very, very run heavy oriented, and rightfully so, because there's a lot of great running backs in this league. I feel like every week we line up, we're playing against a really good running back, so it's going to be no different this week. But the offense, one thing I've noticed is the offensive lines are really big, massive. And I think there's a lot of good scheme going on too in the OVC. I think there's a ton of great, just schematics going on to where, O linemen are, getting guys dug out, cut out, and running backs are able to hit it up in the hole, or they're able to stretch it. Tight ends too. I mean, there's just a physical brand of football in the OVC. And I think you're seeing that play out with all these great rushing attacks. But you got to be ready too, because I think an underestimated part of it is that there's some really good wideouts in this league. You got some speed, and you start getting enamored with that stuff. You got some people down the field that can hurt you. But no, it's a physical league. It's a bruise you up, kind of blood in your nose type league. And but that's what makes the OVC fun to play in.
Coach, thanks for your time this morning. Best of luck this weekend. We'll talk to you next week.
Yeah, thanks, Kyle, for having me. Go Govs. Appreciate it.